You did everything right. You set the goals. You stayed disciplined. You made progress. Maybe even hit the finish line. But instead of celebration, you feel nothing. Or worse, emptiness. Why? Because no one tells you this. Success doesn't always feel good. Sometimes, it feels worse than failing. And the more progress you make, the heavier it gets. The promise of fulfillment. We were sold a promise. Work hard, right pointing arrow, achieve goal, right pointing arrow, feel amazing. So we chase the next milestone. The job. The body. The money. The brand. We imagine the applause. The satisfaction. The peace. But when we finally get there, it often feels hollow. Unreal. Short-lived. And no one talks about it, because success is supposed to be the answer, not the problem. The success hangover. There's a strange silence after the goal. It's like finishing a movie and realizing your life is still playing. You hit the number. But your self-worth didn't magically improve. You reached the top, and found no one there. You expected fireworks, but got a flicker. This is the success hangover. It's what happens when we chase results for emotional reasons, but those results don't fix the root. So we're left with the same emptiness, now dressed in achievement. Why progress can feel like lost progress often means leaving parts of yourself behind. Old friends. Old routines. Old identities. That version of you that used to be hungry, curious, messy, is now gone. Replaced by discipline, routine, and expectations. And sometimes, you grieve who you used to be. Even if they were broke. Lost. Uncertain. Because they were also free. The pressure of success. Failure gives you something to fight. But success gives you something to protect. Now you have a reputation. Now you're expected to deliver. Now people look up to you, and that can feel heavier than all your past struggles combined. You can't just try now. You have to win. Perform. Maintain. And slowly, success becomes a prison. Not a reward. The myth of, once I make it, we say things like, once I hit $100,000 a year, once I grow my channel, once I get that body, once I'm respected, then what? You'll be happy? At peace? Finally enough? The truth is, if you don't feel like enough now, you won't feel like enough then. Because progress doesn't change your identity. It just magnifies it. If you're anxious now, you'll be anxious with money. If you feel alone now, you'll feel alone at the top. If you're addicted to progress, you'll never stop chasing. The goalpost always moves. You don't reach success. You update it. The moment you hit one milestone, your brain goes, okay, what's next? This isn't failure. It's how we're wired. But it also means you'll never feel done unless you choose to. Unless you stop tying your worth to what you produce. Unless you learn to sit with stillness. To find joy not just in climbing, but in being. Why failure feels better. Sometimes, strangely, failure can feel more alive than success. Why? Because it has emotion. You're fighting. Learning. Evolving. There's humility. Hunger. A reason to wake up. But success, it can numb you. Make you coast. Turn you into a machine instead of a human. So you subconsciously sabotage yourself, just to feel something again. It's not failure you fear. It's meaninglessness. You're not alone in that. You think you're broken for feeling this way. But you're not. Artists, athletes, entrepreneurs, creators, many of them report this strange depression after major wins. Olympians, best-selling authors, founders. They all say the same thing. I thought it would feel different. That's not weakness. That's humanity. You're waking up to a deeper truth. Success doesn't equal fulfillment. So, what does? If not success, then what? Right pointing arrow connection. Not status, but intimacy. Right pointing arrow presence. Not the future, but this moment. Right pointing arrow process. Not the outcome, but the act of doing. When you shift from chasing to creating, from performing to playing, from proving to being, you start to feel whole again. Not because you won, but because you remembered who you were without the win. Rewriting your definition of success. What if success isn't reaching the top, but staying grounded while you climb? What if it's not the trophy, but the peace to walk away when it no longer matters? What if the real win is being able to say, I'm proud of how I showed up, even if no one clapped? This is the new success. Measured in alignment, not applause. Self-respect, not followers. Peace, not performance. Closing, the freedom beyond progress. Progress isn't bad. Ambition isn't toxic. But when your self-worth depends on progress, you'll always be chasing, and never arriving. Here's the truth. You're allowed to grow and be content. You're allowed to want more without hating where you are. You're allowed to pause without losing momentum. Success doesn't have to feel like failure. But only if you stop measuring it the old way. You're not here to impress the world. You're here to experience it. Let that be enough.